Lewis Hamilton topped British Grand Prix FP1 and everyone's calling Ferrari favourites, but the fuel-corrected long-run data says the real race threat might be someone else entirely. Stick with me and I'll show you exactly who. So let's start with the headline everyone saw. In the only practice session before sprint qualifying at Silverstone, it was Lewis Hamilton on top, a 1:29.26, and crucially, he did it right in front of championship leader Kimi Antonelli, who was just over 2/10 back. Leclerc, Russell, and Piastri filled out the top five, a proper Ferrari statement on home soil, and a lovely moment for Hamilton. But a fastest lap is one thing. What happens when the tanks are full? Here's where it gets interesting. When you take the long runs and fuel correct them, like on the hard tire, Hamilton stays out front, but the picture behind him totally reshuffles. Oscar Piastri is right there, just over 2/10 off, and Leclerc's close to at under 3/10. Then look at Antonelli, second on the one-lap timesheet, but 6/10 adrift on genuine race pace. Russell's over a second back, Norris further still. So Ferrari's speed is real, but McLaren are lurking, and Mercedes may have flattered themselves on that glory lap, but raw pace isn't the whole story. This is. On the hard tire, look at how the runs held up. Antonelli was actually getting quicker as his stint went on, losing nothing to degradation, while Russell, Hadjar and Verstappen were all bleeding time, around a second lost over their runs. So even though Antonelli's outright pace looked ordinary, he's the one nursing his tyres the best. On a hot race day, that's gold, because that's exactly when the cars hard on their rears start overheating and falling out of the window. Which brings us to the weather, and honestly this one's refreshingly simple. Both qualifying and the race looked dry, around 24 degrees, no rain on the radar, just a bit of cloud and a light breeze. So no wet weather lottery to bail anyone out. But mild air still means a track sitting around 40 degrees, warm enough that thermal degradation matters. And that plays straight into Antonelli's hands, because if you can keep your rears alive when everyone else is cooking theirs, a dry, warm Silverstone is your friend. Now here's a detail you might have missed. Look at Ferrari. Hamilton beat Leclerc by nearly 6/10 on one lap pace this session, and that's a proper reversal, because across the season Leclerc has typically had Hamilton's number by about a tenth. Whether that's set up traffic or just a scrappy first run, it's one to watch. Contrast that with Red Bull, where Verstappen and Hadjar were split by under a tenth, and McLaren, where Piastri edged Norris by just over a tenth. Those are proper benchmark battles. So where does that leave us? Hamilton's practice topping lap is genuine, and Ferrari clearly have the car to fight at the front on home turf. But the long run data says this is far from a one-horse race. Piastri and McLaren look racy, and Antonelli, only 6th quickest over a stint, might just have the kindest tyres of the lot when the temperatures climb. Watch Hamilton and Piastri to convert their pace, and keep an eye on whether Leclerc bounces back after a session that flattered his teammate. That's your FP1 story. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. There's fresh data analysis after every session.